Hot, dry climate of Egypt over to Germany. It's beer time, folks. It's Oktoberfest, and Erwin Shires is here from Craft Beer Journeys. He joins us, tells us how we can celebrate the season with what beers and talk about some journeys you have going on too.
We've got all those things happening, Dave. And of course, we just had a wonderful Oktoberfest just over here at the fairgrounds this weekend.
You were there?
It kind of kicks off. Unfortunately, I wasn't. I had a lot of family commitments this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
I know how good that event is. What's funny is it really kind of kicks off the season because Oktoberfest was set up to be the first weekend of October. Yeah. It only, people think it dates back to like the Middle Ages and stuff, and it actually only goes back to about 1810. It was part of a royal wedding in Bavaria, and they had a big festival that went along with that. And then eventually the beer tents went up, and then people started singing, and lo and behold, it's now it's the biggest beer-related event in the world.
How did it sneak backwards in time? Just because of weather, you think?
No, it really was. The idea was that as the festival lengthened, they always wanted it to culminate in that first weekend of October because that was the anniversary of the royal wedding. Okay. So it starts in September, ends 1st of October. So that's always been the time frame. It has nothing to do with like the calendar or people changing their minds or bumping it or anything.
When does it start on New Day, Cleveland?
So, right now. So this first one is.
We're going to wait till October.
This is good grief, no. Now this is a fascinating one because this is actually a relatively new one. We know that Germany is really good at only using 3 or 4 ingredients because of their purity law, which goes back to 1516.
And they enforce that, huh?
They enforce it pretty rigidly, but there are some people that say, you know what? I'm going off on my own. And so what we have here, this is a Hefeweizen, which is
a renegade.
This is a bit of a renegade, but it also has grapefruit juice in it. So I thought that would make a really good little breakfast drink.
I saw you fill mine up a little bit more.
Well, this is a a glass, so if you want it, there you go. How about we do that?
There we go.
Okay. So this is literally, in England we call these Shandies. This is basically, half of the beer and half of the juice in it. And it reduces that alcohol content down to about 2.5%. This becomes a very drinkable, this is your summertime sitting by the pool, not worry about falling in and stuff like that. This is only 2.5%.
Wow, that's
incredible. But it has really good flavor to it.
Let's
so
do
cheers.
it.
Give it a shot there.
That's really good.
I like that flavor.
Yeah, it's really
because it's grapefruit, but it doesn't grab you. It really is a full
What's that can of
round
beer
of stuff
cost?
like that. These are available. You can get these all over Cleveland. That was, I believe, $2.
Boy, that's really good.
So that's, yeah.
I've had a lot of these ones that say grapefruit or different flavors, but not as refreshing as this.
Well, and what's nice is that it is actual grapefruit juice. This isn't just like they're putting like essence of grapefruit in or something like that, or they did peel. This is their genuine Hefeweizen style, which is wheat yeast, is what Hefeweizen means. So it's a wheat beer with the grapefruit juice added into it at the end.
That grapefruit juice would be good with some of my medications.
Variety of all of that. This actually, what's neat, this is relatively new. This was debuted at the International Food Festival down at Epcot Center at Disney World in 2012. So it's only been over here for a few years.
It's delicious.
So it really is.
I'm not kidding you guys. If you want a nice, refreshing beer, that's not going to be like, cloying like a beer can be.
Very refreshing.
This one says Oktoberfest.
So now we get into actual Oktoberfest. We want to be able to tell people about it. And this is an interesting one. So you finish that up while I tell people about it. So this is from Sierra Nevada, which, as we know, was one of the pioneers of craft beer. They would go out and, they were out in Northern California, the Sierra Nevada area. They opened a second brewery.
That's good.
In Asheville, North Carolina. Generous pours, right? That's something to be. About 4 years ago, and that's where they brew this beer along with this. Now this is a festival beer, and they actually worked with Bitburger, which is one of the great breweries in Germany, and used some of their secret hops in this.
No, that's a beer.
And that gives you a really crisp,
that's a beer,
malty finish to it, but this really sharp finish to it, which is great.
Okay, they're wrapping me up right now.
For the festival.
We got this Great Lakes one here.
The last one, I always got to bring a local one in for that. So, Nosferatu, one of the great ones. This is my absolute personal favorite from Great Lakes. They are wonderful, good, what we call stock ale. So it's very malty, but extra alcohol in that.
And I love
that was about 8%.
I love those red ales.
They are. It is a classic example of the style. And
I might wait till after.
You want to hold off on that one?
I might wait till after.
Fair
lunch.
enough. I want to put too much.
Hey, I want to tell everybody real quick though, because they didn't get a chance to talk about it. Give this guy a call because he's got the craft beer journeys, and if you want to go on a great craft beer journey tour, like
we are doing
Germany.
a trip next year to Munich for Oktoberfest, which is also going to include a 7-day Rhine River cruise. Going to be an absolute fantastic trip. Please email me or go to the website. Yeah. We'll be happy to tell you more about it. Give me a call. We'll talk all about it.
This guy knows the stuff, knows
like
the stories, knows where to go, can take you places, and it'll be like a great journey with a whole bunch of friends.
That's it. That's how we do it. Small group. Thank you, Dave.
Still to come on New Day, Cleveland.